independence-built.com.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time for the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are presented by the Carpe Diem team of Nebraska Realty, Independence Built, A1 Automotive, DBAT Lincoln, and DOT Highway Safety Office, and High Electric. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert.
We are back and we roll on from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha, the home of the Omaha Mavericks. Nick Sainert back with you. Happy Wednesday afternoon. Appreciate the fellas back in the 93.7 The Ticket studios holding down the fort in between games. We're getting ready for Elkhorn South and the Lincoln East Spartans. The Spartans, the 2 seed here in the tournament, and if they win this game, they punch their ticket to the state championship on Friday night against the Millard West Wildcats. The first pitch is thrown, and it's a called strike to the leadoff hitter, Jeter Worthley, the Michigan commit, number 42, starting at second base today. The man on the mound for Elkhorn South is going to be number 14, a junior, Tanner Forch. Forch came in a relief instance on the first game of the state tournament for the Storm last Friday afternoon. Haven't seen him since, but Forge on the year, as I mentioned, a junior, a 5-1 record and a 1.51 earned run average. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Worthley, the leadoff hitter for the Spartans, and it's on the outside corner, called for a strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to the Spartans leadoff hitter. The Spartans got yesterday off after starting out the tournament 2-0. The Storm defeated Bellevue West last night in the nightcap to punch their ticket to today's game. If the Storm win, we'll have another game to follow this one. But if Lincoln East is able to win here at the 4 o'clock game, we'll have our state championship matchup set. The 1-2 pitch to Worthley, fouled back, and it almost hit my press box window just off to my right. But 1 ball, 2 strikes. First pitch was exactly at 4 o'clock, and we're sitting around 82 degrees here at Tal Anderson Field. The wind at a dead standstill as Worthley fouls off another one. It hits the concourse, and we're going to do it again. 1 ball, 2 strike. So Worthley making Forge pitch. Tanner Forge, that is. That state title game on Friday at 7 p.m., we'll have that one for you on the ticket. That one will be here at Tal Anderson as Worthley strikes out swinging on an elevated fastball for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. Once again, as I reminded folks in the previous game, feel free to get in touch with the broadcast. As you guys know the drill, you know the Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line number, 402-464-5685. Let me know where you're hanging out from. Love to talk to you guys and know exactly what you guys are up to on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. The next hitter for the Spartans will be Troy Peltz. Peltz is getting the start in left field today. And he goes around and swings at the first pitch offered to him, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here to Troy Peltz, the left-handed hitter facing the right-handed pitcher, Forch. And now this one's going to be floated out into left field. The left fielder trips, and it's over the head of the left fielder. Peltz rounding first on the way to second. He's going to try to stretch it to 3. Rounding second on the way to third. Sliding in safely is Troy Peltz. And so after the Elkhorn South left fielder, Colton Kane, sort of stumbled, it almost looked like his cleat got stuck in the turf as Colton Kane, the left fielder, kind of hobbled a little bit. That ball went right off the tip of his glove and went all the way to the wall. And on that error by the left fielder, Troy Peltz reaches third base. So now that puts a runner on third for the Kansas State commit, A.J. Avasco. Avasco starting at first base today, the third hitter in the Spartans lineup. The Elkhorn South infield is back, and now Avasco hits a far one out into right field. Drifting back is the right fielder, and he's not going to get there. It's going to take one hop to the fence. Avasco around second. He'll slide into third safely, and the Spartans have a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. A.J. Avasco hit that one a mile high and about 315 feet into right center field. It took one hop, hit the Omaha Baseball Maverick logo in right center field here at Tal Anderson Field, and he was on his horse, rounding first and second base, and went into third with a stand-up triple. So now that brings up Garrett Springer. Springer's getting the start behind the plate tonight. The first pitch, just a little upstairs, 1-0. We've seen a couple, or I should say an instance similar to this one the last time out for Lincoln East on Monday night against this Elkhorn South Storm team. They put up 7 runs in the top of the first inning. So Spartans lead here early on 1-0. It's a 2-ball, no-strike count to the cleanup hitter, Garrett Springer. So here's the 2-0 pitch from Forch, upstairs, ball 3. So Forch in a little bit of a pinch here in the top of the first inning. He retired Jeter Worthley, the leadoff hitter, with a swinging strikeout. Now has ran into some trouble as he walks the cleanup hitter, Garrett Springer, on 4 pitches. So now Lincoln East will have runners at the corners with just 1 out, and that will draw a mound visit from the Elkhorn South head coach, Brandon Dahl. And so while they talk things over at the mound, we'll step aside for 30 seconds as well, and we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
So Garrett Springer draws a 4-pitch walk on the shoulders of a triple from A.J. Avasco. The Spartans have a 1-0 lead over the Elkhorn South Storm in the top of the first inning. Runners at the corners, Avasco at third and Springer at first. And that brings up the Husker baseball commit, Joey Senstock, the shortstop, as he takes fastball up and in for ball 1, 1-0. While we have a second, I want to thank our sponsors, A1 Automotive, the Carpe Diem team of Nebraska Realty, Independence Built, the NDOT Highway Safety Office, DBAT Lincoln, and High Electric for their continuous support. As the runner at first goes, Springer is going to slide in safely without a throw. And so Spartans will have runners in on second and third, 2 of them in scoring position with less than 2 outs as Joey Senstock is ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Spartans win this one. They are in the state title. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch from Forch, a hair outside, ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes to Joey Senstock, the shortstop. The 3-0 pitch on the way from Tanner Forch, right down Broadway, strike 1. Senstock didn't take the metal bat off his shoulder, and understandably so. Forch has struggled to find the zone here in this one. Senstock, just a sophomore, and the starting shortstop here for Lincoln East. The 3-1 pitch, Outside corner, strike two, and give credit to Forch here as he's worked all the way back and thrown 2 straight competitive pitches to make it a 3-ball and 2-strike count to the 5-hitter in the Spartans lineup, Joey Senstock. Runners on second and third, 1 out here, top of the first inning. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. We'll do it again at 3-2. Mason Gaines, the right fielder, is on deck. Gaines, the left-handed hitter, but first for Forge, it's Joey Senstock at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lifts the leg and fires. Swung on, fouled back to the net. Senstock staying alive on a pitch at his belt. Good student section support for both sides as Lincoln East students fill the third base line and Elkhorn South students fill the first base side. A lot more blue than navy blue in the area, so Spartan fans made the trip as the pitch is hit to the right side. That will score 1 run on the 4-3 ground out. Senstock does his job and takes one the opposite way. Avasco scores on the ground out, and it's 2-0 Lincoln East here in the top of the first inning. So despite Senstock being thrown out at first for out number 2, Avasco able to go around and score. And with that, the Spartans move Garrett Springer to third base, who stands there with 2 outs, and Mason Gaines up to bat, who swings. This one floated into center field. It will drop for a base hit, and the Spartans add another one to their lead, and they now lead it 3-0 here in the top of the first inning on a first pitch base hit by Mason Gaines, the starting right fielder, who was hitting in the 6th spot. Brings up the DH, Owen Lasig. Lasig usually gets the start at second base, but here in the afternoon game, when you have a potential of playing another one, Garrett Springer is going to be behind the dish, and so Jeter Worthley will be getting the start at second today. So that means Owen Lasig is just rotated into the DH spot. Hitting 7th is Lasig. It's a righty-on-righty matchup. The pitch from Forch down the middle for strike 1, 0-1. So a nice job by the Spartans here, adding 3 runs in the first half inning. 2 outs, no balls, 1 strike here by Forch. The pitch up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Owen Lasig. Mason Gaines stands on first after he just registered an RBI single. A pickoff move to first from Forch is not in time. So Gaines will go back to first standing up. Peltz, Avasco, and Springer all have come around to score in this top half of the first inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Forch. A slider low and away. Ball 2. As I mentioned, we saw Forch in a relief appearance back on Friday. Came in and slammed the door for the Storm that day. Different situation here, however, as there's already an arm warming up in the Elkhorn South bullpen. This one driven to the right side. It's going to be down for a base hit. It almost hit Mason Gaines, so he had to slow up, and he'll have to stop at second. But a base knock by Owen Lasig goes into right field, and that brings up the 8-hitter in the lineup, Harrison Beester, the starting center fielder, as the train keeps on chugging along for Lincoln East here in the top of the first. So Mason Gaines will now be at second, Lasig at first. Still the top of the first inning, 3-0 Spartans with the advantage. 2 runners on, 2 outs, and the first pitch to Beester is up and in, ball 1. So Millard West avoided a scare after dropping game 1 today to Grand Island, the 8 seed. They fell 7-5 in that game and then were able to avenge their loss and beat Grand Island 5-1 in game 2 to punch their ticket to the state final on Friday night. I would assume the future Iowa Hawkeye commit, Drew Derrimer, will be on the mound for the Wildcats on that day. It's just a matter of who do they play now. Spartans can punch it with a win right here in this game or in a Game 2 victory as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Harrison Beaster as he watches strike 2 on the inside corner. Mason Gaines on second, Owen Lasig on first after back-to-back singles. Tanner Forge trying to work around some stuff on the base paths, and the 1-2 pitch is going to be fouled off to the left, out of play. So we'll do it again at 1 and 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 3-0 the score. Lincoln East out in front early on here in the top of the first. Lasig gets a big lead at first base. Now the pitch from Forch. Swung on and missed on the back foot slider. Forch works around a tough couple of hits and runs there in the top of the first inning, and Lincoln East will take a 3-0 lead into the bottom half of the first inning. So due up for Elkhorn South in the bottom half of the first. They'll start with Hayden Kelberlau, Alex Thomas, and Cole Eaton. A familiar look for the Storm from what we've seen throughout this tournament, and it's Chase Johnson on the mound for the Spartans. We'll tell you about him coming up next in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Welcome back into Exarban Village here in Omaha. Tal Anderson Field, the site for the Class A state baseball tournament, the home of the Omaha Mavericks. As we enter the bottom of the first inning, and it's our first look at the Elkhorn South Storm offense as they trail early on 3-0. The winner of this game gets Millard West on Friday night at 7 p.m. So the leadoff hitter for the Storm is the same guy that's been the leadoff hitter every single game, Hayden Kelberlau, the starting third baseman. Chase Johnson is on the mound, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. So now Kelberlau will put a drive into this one as the left fielder ranging back, and retiring Kelberlau at the warning track is the Lincoln East left fielder, Troy Peltz. Kelberlau put a nice charge into that one, but unfortunately it goes for naught as he's jogging back to the dugout after being retired for out number 1. So the Lincoln East Spartans, they're starting Chase Nelson, the junior pitcher, on the mound today. The right-handed junior. Nelson, 4-1 on the year with a 4.01 ERA. Standing in next, up to bat, Alex Thomas, the starting first baseman for Elkhorn South. And he starts ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. So Nelson working from the windup at a pretty good pace here as Thomas fouls this one back to the net, 0-1. Thomas had himself a good day earlier in the week, as on Monday night's game against the Spartans, Thomas went 1 for 3, but he grounded into a double play. This time, he's going to get a charge into this one as this will go over the right fielder's head. Thomas will slow up at second base and is in there with a stand-up double. As Alex Thomas took the 2-1 fastball on the inside corner and ripped it into right field over the right fielder's head of Mason Gaines. Went all the way to the wall, and Thomas will stroll into second with a 1-out double. So now, with a runner on second base and 1 out, that will bring Cole Eaton up to the plate. Eaton, the 3-hole hitter. With Thomas now at second base, Eaton on Monday in the Elkhorn South loss to the Spartans had 2 groundouts and a flyout, went 0 for 3. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Elkhorn South trying to chip away at this early 3-0 Spartan lead. Elkhorn South wearing some really slick silver, or I should say charcoal gray uniforms with their navy blue lettering and numbers. They wore them last night against Bellevue West and obviously had a little bit of good juju with them, so hopefully they washed them and they're wearing them again tonight. The 1-0 pitch, inside corner, called strike 1, 1-1 to the 3-hitter Cole Eaton, with Alex Thomas on second base for the Storm. It's been a good day of baseball. The first game was all we could ask for, and an 8 seed upsetting a number 1 seed, and then the number 1 seed Millard West Wildcats got the best of the Grand Island Islanders in Game 2 to punch their ticket to the state finals. And now here we are in the other side of the bracket with the 2 seed, the Spartans, and the 3 seed Elkhorn South Storm. The 1-1 pitch is going to be a curveball that stays a little too high, stays out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Cole Eaton. Eli Small, the right fielder, is standing on deck. This is a Elkhorn South lineup that varies with righty and lefty hitters. Kelberlau's a righty, the 2-hole Alex Thomas is a lefty, and then you have Eaton who's a righty, and then the 4-hole, the cleanup hitter, is also a lefty. So you're talking about alternating from right to left, and whether you're facing a righty or a lefty pitcher, you're at least going to be able to get a couple different looks at the opponent's starting pitcher. There's a little bit of a benefit, I suppose, to a righty pitcher facing a lefty batter facing a righty pitcher, or vice versa, a righty batter facing a lefty pitcher. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Chase Johnson, and it's fouled back by Cole Eaton to fill it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cole Eaton on Monday night, as I mentioned, went 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a flyout against the Spartans. 3 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first. Spartans lead 3-0 with 1 out here in this half inning. Johnson comes set, delivers the full count pitch. This one hit well into right field. It's going to be down for a base hit. Gaines fields it in right center field, and stopping at third is going to be Alex Thomas. And so it's another 1-out base knock for Elkhorn South, and they have runners at the corners for the cleanup hitter, Eli Small. So Small, the starting right fielder, hitting out of that lefty batter's box here, will step in with runners at the corners as Thomas is at third and Eaton is at first with less than 2 outs. Thomas on Monday night came up in a similar situation and grounded into an inning-ending double play back at Warner Park. So Johnson comes set, the pitch. It's going to hit, or I should say, just miss Alex Small. And now, in the process there, the catcher was trying to get to the ball in the dirt, and Small was just sitting in the batter's box, and kind of took a little bit of a nudge from the catcher, but he was standing in his batter's box, so nothing really could be done about it. So now we're going to have time on the mound. One out here in the bottom of the first inning. On that ball in dirt, Eaton advanced to second base, so they are out of the traditional double play possibility. And so Eli Small still at the plate here with a 1-0 count. So the home plate umpire goes and breaks up the party at the pitcher's mound, and we're ready to play baseball once again. 1 ball, no strikes to the cleanup hitter, Eli Small. Runners on second and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 Lincoln East. Elkhorn South, though, threatening to cut into the lead. The pitch, just upstairs, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Eli Small. Small, the senior, hitting .402 this year. Here's the 2-0 pitch, swung on, and a healthy cut at it from Small, but it goes foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. Had to move venues because Storm Chasers have a home series with the Toledo Mud Hens, the AAA affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, that started last night. So the NSAA had already been using Tal Anderson Field. As here's the swing on a 2-1 pitch. It's popped up a mile high to the first base bag of Vasco, ranging over, settles under it, and makes the catch for out number 2. That's a huge out on the fly out to the first baseman for the pitcher, Chase Johnson, as he gets him to pop out on a 2-1 pitch. And that brings up Carson Ronner, the starting second baseman. Ronner, the junior, hitting .344, has 17 runs batted in this season. So Chase Johnson on the mound, righty versus righty matchup. So Johnson comes set, fires home the first pitch, and it's a hair outside, ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-0 the score between Lincoln East and Elkhorn South. The Spartans took advantage of some good hitting in the top of the first inning to get on the board first. So Chase Johnson getting the sign from his catcher, and now he'll come set at the belt and fire on home, and it paints the outside corner for a strike, 1-1 to the second baseman, Carson Ronner. So Ronner, as I mentioned, 17 runs driven in, has an opportunity with a base knock to maybe cut this game to 1 run. The pitch, this one's going to be skied high into right center field. Ranging over are the center and right fielder, and Mason Gaines will call off the center fielder and retire Carson Ronner for out number 3 in right center field. After the end of 1 inning of play, it's 3-0 Lincoln East with a 3-run advantage over the Storm of Elkhorn South. For the Spartans in the top half of the second inning, it's 9-1-2. Tanner Peterson, and then the top of the order with Jeter Worthley and Troy Peltz when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeline a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
We move on to the top of the second inning. The Spartans with a 3-0 lead, and it will be hitters 9, 1, and 2 in the Spartans order due up here in the top of the second inning. And it seems to be a new pitcher on the mound for Elkhorn South. So Tanner Forch makes it just one inning, allows 3 earned runs in that first inning against the Spartans. So the head coach for Elkhorn South, Brandon Dahl, will bring in number 17, Jonathan Roy. Roy is a senior pitcher, throws from the right side, has a 2-0 record and a 2.89 earned run average here in the 2023 campaign. So it's 3-0 here. If you're Elkhorn South, you're just trying to get clean innings here. As we saw it on Monday night in the loss to Lincoln East, where you allow 7 runs to the Spartans in the first inning. You go down 7-0 and you just start chipping away. And what Elkhorn South did a really good job of is the remaining 5 innings of that one, 6 innings rather, they held them scoreless. And that's exactly what you got to do here. Just keep on putting zeros and goose eggs up on that scoreboard in the top half of each inning when you're on defense and the Spartans are on offense. Three runs is manageable, but 3 runs for the next 3 innings, and you look up and it's the 4th inning, you're down 7 or 9-0. That's not so manageable, especially against some of the best. So we get ready here in the top of the second inning. Roy's first pitch is elevated high outside of the zone, 1-0. So Tanner Peterson, the starting third baseman, is the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second. Roy's second pitch is going to be fouled off to the right side. Look alive, folks, as that one reaches the concourse. The shadows aren't playing a factor yet, but if we have a game 2 on our hands, we saw it last night where the shadows do play a little bit of a part, as the 1-1 pitch almost hits Peterson in the dome, but he ducked out of the way of that one for just a normal ball. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Tanner Peterson, the Spartan third baseman. Jonathan Roy on the mound. He comes set, lifts the left leg, fires, swing and a miss to Tanner Peterson, and he is all even in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So once again, Jonathan Roy, the new pitcher here in inning number 2 for Elkhorn South. And what is an elimination game for them? The 2-2 pitch going to be grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Eichmeyer. Great play by Kobe Eichmeyer. Throws it over to first, and Alex Thomas in time for out number 1. It's 6-3 on the ground out. And that brings up the top of the order as it turns over to Jeter Worthley. Worthley struck out swinging to begin that first inning, and which makes it more interesting when you look at what Lincoln East did in that first inning. You had Worthley that struck out swinging, and then Troy Peltz, the 2-hole hitter, as the first pitch to Worthley is up and in for a ball. You had the second hitter, Troy Peltz, reach on an error made by the left fielder, because it seemed like from my vantage point up here in the press box, the left fielder's cleat got stuck or wedged in the turf when he was trying to run, and he kind of stumbled a little bit and dropped a pop fly. But here Worthley takes a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike here as Worthley hits this one into the gap into left center field. This is going to beat the center fielder Eaton. Worthley around first, on his horse to second. He's going to slide in safely, and Jeter Worthley has a 1-out double here in the top of the second inning as he hits that one to left center. So now that brings up Troy Peltz. Peltz, as I mentioned, reached on an error made by the left fielder back in inning number 1. He hit it well. The left fielder got a really good jump on it as well, just stumbled a little bit. But Troy Peltz ended up getting to third base and scoring So here's Troy Peltz, who is 0 for 1 technically today. Jeter Worthy standing at second base. Jonathan Roy on the mound for Elkhorn South. Here's the first pitch to the AB to Peltz, and it's inside as he jumps out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes to Troy Peltz. So 1 ball, no strikes. Troy Peltz here, the lefty hitter facing the righty arm of Jonathan Roy. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Jonathan Roy throwing with a little bit of tenacity and velocity here early on. So far, Spartans 3 runs on 4 hits. The Storm, no runs on 2 hits and an error. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball works itself back to the plate, and that's a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 2-hole hitter, Troy Peltz. AJ Avasco stands on deck. Avasco tripled back in the first inning. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 3-0 Spartans. Troy Peltz, the batter, and he's going to get drilled in the thigh, and he'll just kind of try to shake that one off on his 90-foot jog to first base. And man, if you're Jonathan Roy, that's a killer, because you had Troy Peltz down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and you try to overpower him with your velocity, and you overthrow it and plunk him in the thigh. So now runners on first and second base. Worthy is at second, and Peltz is at first. AJ Avasco steps in. He's the left-handed hitter. And they're going to pick back to second base to Jeter Worthy, forcing him to retreat back. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. 3-0 Lincoln East out in front of Elkhorn South already, and they're threatening once again with 1 runner in scoring position and another at first base. The pitch from Roy. He's going to hit Avasco. That's 2 straight hit batters for Jonathan Roy. And now that's going to load the bases here for Lincoln East. So Avasco and Peltz get hit on back-to-back pitches. That'll move Worthy up to third, Peltz up to second, and Avasco will occupy first base now. So the bases are juiced for the 4-hole, the cleanup hitter, Garrett Springer. Springer drew a walk back in the first inning, and now has an opportunity to add to his season's RBI total. Springer on the season is hitting .361 with a home run and 21 runs batted in. It's a righty-on-righty matchup. The Spartans wearing some really sweet cream-colored uniforms today. The first pitch to the AB is on the outside corner, good for a called strike, 0-1. They have the script Spartans across the chest, sort of like a throwback uniform that you see maybe the Brooklyn Dodgers wearing. Really, really cool-looking uniforms. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Great block behind the dish by the catcher, Trey Mandina, as he saves a run. Jeter Worthy was stalking Mandina down there at third base to make sure that that baseball didn't get by him. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's 3-0. Lincoln East out in front early on here in the top of the second inning. 1 out in the inning. Jonathan Roy in his first inning of work lifts his leg, fires, and just misses the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Spartan cleanup hitter, Garrett Springer. So now 2 balls, 1 strike. Bases are loaded after 2 hit by pitches. And now Springer swings and misses on a fastball down the center of the plate. And that evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a high-pressured situation here, especially if you're Elkhorn South, because anything to a gap, to the wall, really feel like this one could get out of hand early on. No balls will be win-aided as the American flag in left center field is up against the pole. As now Springer is drilled, or excuse me, they're going to say it hit the bat, rather. So instead of Springer just didn't lower the bat or move the bat, but he turned into the catcher, and it ended up hitting the handle of his bat for a foul ball. So we'll redo it here. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Garrett Springer goes down on a fastball up and in the zone for out number 2. That's a huge out for Jonathan Roy as he gets the cleanup hitter, Garrett Springer, to strike out and head back to the dugout. That brings up number 4, the shortstop for Lincoln East, Joey Senstock. Senstock grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning. Got an RBI out of it. Here he has bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the second. So Jonathan Roy, who entered the game, is about to eclipse 20 pitches this inning. He throws ground ball to shortstop, fielded by Eichmeyer cleanly. A race to the second base bag, and Eichmeyer touches it in time. And the Storm can exhale. They can exhale as they get out of the top of the second jam with allowing no runs, and they leave the bases loaded due to the Spartans. We head to the bottom of the second inning, due up for the Storm in their home half of the second. It's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Ronner, Mechna, and Eichmeyer, all due up here in the home half of inning number 2. We'll be back in 60 seconds right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching, and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
So I forgot to mark down on my sheet that Ronner flied out to the right fielder to end the first inning. So it'll actually be Michael Mechna, Eichmeyer, and Mandina due up here in the home half of the second inning for Elkhorn South, as Michael Mechna was part of the no-hitter on Friday that Elkhorn South threw against Papillion La Vista South. He and Tanner Forsch, actually, the starter in this one, combined to go 7 innings and no-hit the Titans. He takes ball 1 outside 1-0, and Chase Johnson is right back and ready to go as he fires in strike 1 right down Broadway. 1 ball, 1 strike. He evens up the count. So it would be Mechna and then the shortstop Eichmeyer. Eichmeyer, one of my favorite players to watch here in this state tournament, is he's a guy that just really scrappy and somebody that is fun to watch. He is a really solid defensive player, not the best bat in this Elkhorn South lineup, as Mechna fouls 1 off. It's now evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes again. But Eichmeyer has the ability to drop down a drag bunt, and if you know anything about me, you know I love drag bunts. Love bunts. But now 2 ball, 2 strike. The pitch, just a little outside. And we got a full count here to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes, Michael Mechna. Nobody out, bottom of the second. The payoff pitch swung on, fouled off to the left side, and we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So here's the payoff pitch, as this one on 3-2 is skied high into shallow center field. Making the play on it is number 5, Harrison Beester, out in center field for Lincoln East. And the leadoff hitter, Michael Mechna, is retired for out number 1. That brings up the shortstop, Kobe Eichmeyer. Kobe Eichmeyer, a junior, hitting .300 this year. 19 runs driven in, 27 hits, and 90 at-bats. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's just a tad upstairs, ball 1-0. Eichmeyer fielded that ball at the end of the inning really cleanly. Sometimes as he lines this one out to left field and it's caught on a line. Tough break for Kobe Eichmeyer as it goes right to the left fielder, Troy Peltz, for out number 2. But as I was saying, just a really tough break for Eichmeyer there. So he'll go back into the dugout for the Elkhorn South Storm. Brings up the third hitter in the bottom of the second inning, Trey Mandina. Mandina doing the catching for the 4th time here in the state tournament. Mandina, the right-handed hitter, righty-on-righty matchup. The pitch scooped out of the dirt by the catcher Springer for a ball, 1 strike. So 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 Spartans, and Chase Nelson throws a 1-1 fastball right down Broadway for a strike. 1 2 strikes. So once again, if you're just now joining us, the Spartans tack on 3 runs in the top of the first inning as the 1-2 pitch is way outside. Voice gave out, way outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spartans tack on 3 runs in the top of the first. If they win this one, they have a date with Millard West on Friday night at 7 p.m. As the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Chase Nelson retires the Storm in order. They go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second inning. When we come back, it'll be the top of the third. The Spartans will send 6, 7, and 8 hitters to the plate. It's Gaines, Lasig, and Beester due up for the Spartans in the top half of the third. It's 3-0 Lincoln East after 2 innings of play from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
We are back here as we begin the third inning of play from Tal Anderson Field. Nick Sainer joining you. Unfortunately, I will not be on the call for the state title game on Friday. I'm heading out of town tomorrow, so I won't even be in for the drive with AD and Raf, unfortunately. I know all the jokes or the statements about my commitment level and such is going to be brought up by the young fellas or the old fellas, AD and Raf. Rico, I'm sure, will chime in as well as he's filling in for me, so shout out to Rico. But, yes, somebody will have your state championship coverage on Friday night here on the ticket from Tal Anderson Field. And as it stands right now, it would be the Spartans and the Millard West Wildcats. But Storm still have about 5 opportunities in their home half of the inning to change that. Leadoff hitter here in the top of the third inning is going to be Mason Gaines. Mason had an RBI single back in the first inning. He is ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. So here's the 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3, 3-0. So Jonathan Roy came in for Tanner Forge, who started the game. Forge got out of the first inning after allowing 3 runs, but then Roy ended up having the bases loaded as he allows a leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Mason Gaines. He comes in the second inning, gets the bases loaded, and then works out of the bases loaded jam, leaves them on every single bag, and puts up a goose egg on the scoreboard. Already at 25 pitches through an inning of work, Mason Gaines will now stand on first after the leadoff walk, and that brings up Owen Lasig, the designated hitter. Lasig in the first inning singled as well, and now Jonathan Roy wants to talk signals and such with his catcher, Trey Mandina. So now that the party is over on the mound and we're ready to play baseball once again, it's no balls, no strikes, as Lasig squared around a bunt, and it was high and tight. Lasig just kind of held his bat out there as the helmet almost fell off, and Lasig took a tumble, but the ball did hit the bat, so it is counted as a foul ball. No balls, 1 strike here to the 7th hitter in the Spartan lineup. And now the 0-1 offering is inside, ball 1, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike here in the top of the 3rd inning. Mason Gaines standing on first base, and now the 1-1 pitch is popped up right over my window and out of play for a foul ball, 1-2. Standing in the on-deck circle, Harrison Beester, the center fielder. Beester struck out, but here the 1-2 pitch upstairs, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning. This game started right at 4 p.m., right when it was supposed to start, as Lasig is going to fly this one to the right side, and it will reach. Oh, it hit a bush. So there's really a lot of nice landscaping going on around here. And that ball by Owen Lasig just took out a bush or a plant. Somebody need to check on that. So we'll redo it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-0 Spartans here in the top of the 3rd. The pitch, up and away, ball 3. And now Jonathan Roy is in serious danger of walking the first 2 batters that he faces. Nobody's getting warm in the Elkhorn South bullpen quite yet. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runner at first acted like he was going to go, but now Lasig gets plunked with a pitch in the shoulder. It would have been ball 4 either way, and so it will be registered as a hit by pitch. And with that, Lasig is at first base, and Mason Gaines moves up to second. We'll go ahead and step aside as Brandon Dahl is out on the mound to talk things over with his pitcher. We'll see what they decide to do coming up next on 97 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreelene a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
We're back here. The new pitcher for Elkhorn South will be Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau will move in from third base and take over on the mound for Jonathan Roy. Going to third base will now be Eamon O'Gorman, the sophomore infielder. So now it'll be decision time for the head coach, Brandon Dahl, though, what they want to do lineup-wise. Kelberlau will, what I would assume, stay in to hit. And I'm not sure if they will keep Mechna as the DH or if they would put Eamon O'Gorman in the spot of the designated hitter. We'll have to see and find out when that time comes. So nobody out here in the top of the third inning, runners on first and second, and the hitter for Lincoln East is going to be number 5, Harrison Beester. Beester fouls the first pitch back on a bunt attempt, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here to Harrison Beester, the 8th hitter in this Spartans lineup. A ginormous lead at first for Owen Lasig and a conservative lead at second, and now the 0-1 pitch is going to hit Harrison Beester. And so Beester will now take first base, and the other 2 runners will advance 90 feet, bringing up Tanner Peterson. Peterson led off the second inning and grounded out to the shortstop in his previous at-bat. Here he comes up with nobody out in the top of the third inning, and the bases are loaded. So Beester at first, Lasig at second, Gaines at third. Swing and a miss on the first pitch of the at-bat by Tanner Peterson. And so that makes it 0-1 to the 9-hole Tanner Peterson. Jeter Worthley, the second baseman for the Spartans, is on deck. The 0-1 pitch, outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike here as Hayden Kelberlau is the new pitcher for the Elkhorn South Storm. The bases are loaded here in the top of the third inning. 3-0 Spartans as we are approaching the 5 o'clock hour. Spartans with a win today can punch their ticket to the state championship on Friday as Tanner Peterson takes ball 2, low in the dirt, 2-1. Kelberlau, the right-handed pitcher, the leadoff hitter also for this Elkhorn South Storm team, the third pitcher that the Storm have had to use. The pitch swung on, chopped to third base, fielded by the third baseman, thrown to home in time, Eamon O'Gorman. He's able to get to, or I should say jump high enough and reach that high chopping ground ball and stay composed, throw it to Mandina at home for the force out at the plate. They put the run on the board, but they should take it off as that is going to be, except maybe, did the catcher Mandina drop it? They're going to say that Mandina dropped it. So Mandina cost Elkhorn South a run. I did not see Mandina dropped that baseball. I apologize. That's on my fault, but it's now 4-0 Lincoln East. So bases are still loaded with nobody out, as Worthley will foul it back. I was a little caught off guard that they put the run up on the board. They've messed up a couple of times. Okay, and now they change it. So there is going to be one out. I was going to say, they've messed up the scoreboard a couple of times. I got to learn to trust myself and my eyeballs. So there's going to be one out here in the top of the third inning. Worthley takes ball one in the dirt, low and away, 1-1. So it is 3-0 Lincoln East. Tanner Peterson reaches first on a fielder's choice, but there is one out here in the top of the third. 3-0. Lincoln East with a 3-run advantage. Worthley, the leadoff hitter for the Spartans, up to bat. Swings and fouls this one off to the right side. While we have a break in the action, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander back with you. Tal Anderson Field. The 1-2 pitch from Kelberlau to Worthley is low and away, ball 2. So that evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out here in the top of the third inning. 3-0, Lincoln East out in front of Elkhorn South. It's an elimination game for Elkhorn South. If Lincoln East can win, they'll play in Friday night's state title game. People still funneling into the stadium here. It's a really good crowd on hand. A beautiful night for baseball. Kelberlau, the right-handed pitcher on the mound, he fires and strikes out Jeter Worthley on a slider low and away. And Worthley goes down swinging for the second time tonight. So that is out number 2. And just like that, Kelberlau is now 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed after relieving the previous reliever, Jonathan Roy. So now Kelberlau comes set at the belt, takes a breath, and fires home. Low and inside to Troy Peltz, the 2-hole hitter, for a ball, 1-0. So how about this? In the third inning here, the Spartans have already sent their top half of the lineup to the plate 3 times. This is the third at-bat for Worthley and Peltz. The 1-0 pitch swung on, hit well to right field. The right fielder under it, and it is going to be recaught for the final out of the top of the third. Peltz put a pretty good charge into that one, but the right fielder, Eli Small, was able to track it down and retire the side. After 2.5 innings of play, it's 3-0 Spartans as the Elkhorn South Storm come to the plate. They will send 9-1-2 up to face Chase Johnson, the Spartans starting pitcher. We'll do that next, coming up on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. Newt talks about should tell Nick to position his mix closer to an open window. Unfortunately, Newt, the windows here don't open up here in the press box at Tal Anderson Field. And so I can barely hear the crack of the bat, unfortunately. So it may sound like I am a little bit in a box, but unfortunately, that's the best we can do. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, it's disappointing because as a fan of natural baseball sound at a field, it's tough for me. It's tougher than you might expect to even call a game when you're unable to hear the umpire or the crack of the bat or, just the chatter going on around you. The first batter of the game is going to be, of the inning rather, is going to be number 9 hitter Colton Kane. He flies out to the right fielder for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third. So that brings up the top of the order to Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau now the pitcher, and he takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here in the bottom of the third inning. Chase Johnson still on the mound for the Lincoln East Spartans as he throws a nice curveball that floats down the heart of the plate for a strike, 0-2 to the leadoff hitter, Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau flew out to the left fielder to begin things in the first inning and now takes ball 1 on the outside part of the zone, 1-2. So 3-0 Lincoln East with a 3-run lead. The 1-2 pitch, low and away, ball 2, evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau, one of the really bright spots here at the plate this weekend for Elkhorn South. Now the 2-2 pitch swung on late. It's going to be fielded on an easy hop by a Vasco, and he's over at the bag in time for out number 2. So the first 2 hitters in the bottom of the third inning have gone with ease, and that brings up Alex Thomas. Alex Thomas doubled back in the first. The left-handed hitter Thomas facing the right-handed pitcher of Chase Johnson. Thomas skied it over the head of the right fielder and now takes ball 1, 1-0. So now Chase Johnson working from the windup, lifts the leg and fires, and it's low and away for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here in the bottom of the third inning. So now we're ready to go once again on the 2-0. Up and away, ball 3. Chase Johnson at 44 pitches through 2 2/3 innings. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Outside corner, hits it for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. We'll see if Johnson can work all the way back against Alex Thomas, who has his toes on the chalk. And he can't as he throws ball 4 way outside. And Alex Thomas draws a 2-out walk. So he'll be on first base for the 3-hole hitter, Cole Eaton. Eaton, the righty, he singled back in the first and made it to second where he was stranded. So Eaton will step into the right side, face the righty arm of Chase Johnson as well with the 2-hole Alex Thomas on first base. The first pitch, swing on a miss. The back pick at first, not in time to get Thomas at first base. But Eaton took a hearty cut at that first pitch from Johnson and swung and missed. So 0-1 coming up to Cole Eaton, who steps back in after looking down the third base line. Now going through the motions, a pickoff to first, not in time as Thomas gets back. Thomas not the quickest one out there for Elkhorn South, as we saw that on the base paths back in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, hit a mile high into left field, fairly routine. The left fielder going over, and he's going to haul it in for the final out of the third inning. We head to the top of the fourth. In the top of the fourth, the Spartans will send hitters 3, 4, and 5 to the plate. The heart of their order in Vasco, Springer, and Senstock coming up to face the Elkhorn South pitcher, Hayden Kelberlau, when we come back. You're listening to Class A State Baseball Tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
So Chase Nelson has worked 3 clean innings here for the Spartans as the Elkhorn South Storm still searching for their first run in this one. We head to the top of the fourth, and AJ Avasco is going to get plunked on the first pitch from Hayden Kelberlau. So Avasco will now take first base here in the top of the fourth inning. Bringing up the 4-hitter, Garrett Springer. Springer, in his first 2 at-bats, walked and struck out swinging back in the first and second inning. Here's the pitch from Kelberlau. Crosses the heart of the plate, strike 1. So 3-0, Lincoln East out in front of Elkhorn South. Here at Tal Anderson Field, they pick over to first, and Avasco's back in standing up. Spartans win this one. They're on to the state title on Friday. Storm win this one, then we'll play another one to follow. That one will probably get rolling about 7 p.m. if we need to do that one. Garrett Springer fouls off the 0-1 fastball, makes it 0-2. Kelberlau came in the third inning, and he was the third pitcher so far today for Elkhorn South. They started with Tanner Forch, then they brought in Jonathan Roy in the second, and Roy got through the second, tried to send him back out in the third, and unable to get out of the third inning. So now on the 0-2 pitch, Springer going to swing and hit this one foul into the seats. We'll redo it at no balls and 2 strikes. It's been a full day of baseball, full week, ever since last Friday for the most part. We had 4 games on Friday from Warner, 4 games on Monday from Warner, and then 2 yesterday from here at Tal Anderson Field, and 3 so far today, potentially 4 if Elkhorn South wins this one. 3-0 Lincoln East. They lead here in the top of the fourth inning. Nobody out. Avasco at first base, a chopping ground ball. A nice bare hand play by Kelberlau gets the force out at second. What a play from Kelberlau as he rushed off the mound, worked to his right, fielded the ground ball with his bare hand, plucked it out of the air, and chucked it onto the second baseman, Carson Ronner, for out number 1 as they got the force out at second base. So Springer reaches on a fielder's choice. Avasco is out at second per the force out, and that brings up Joey Senstock, the shortstop, with 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. The first pitch to Senstock, outside corner, strike 1. That was a really athletic play there by Hayden Kelberlau. So no balls, 1 strike to Joey Senstock. The breaking ball hits that inside corner, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes as Senstock has watched 2 pitches go by for called strikes. Lincoln East started out hot in this game again, and they did the same thing on Monday against Elkhorn South. They scored 7 runs in the first inning at Warner on Monday night. They scored 3 here in the top of the first tonight. So Senstock down 0-2 in the count. Kelberlau comes set for Elkhorn South. The pitch swung on and missed as Kelberlau strikes out Joey Senstock on 3 pitches for out number 2. And we're starting to see the same thing happen again here for Elkhorn South and Lincoln East, as despite putting up multiple runs in the first inning of play, it's been followed by multiple zeros. Lincoln East has been unable to tack on any runs, as now that brings up Mason Gaines, the left-handed right fielder, facing the righty pitcher, Hayden Kelberlau. So Gaines takes ball 1, low and outside, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch from Kelberlau swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saw Millard West advance earlier today. It took them 2 games, had to beat Grand Island in game 2. They fell in game 1, but we saw them advance earlier today. Now here's Lincoln East trying to set the state title matchup on Friday. Neither one of these teams, the Spartans or the Storm, been to a state championship. Well, that will soon change. Pickoff to first, not in time. One ball, 2 strikes to the 6-hole Mason Gaines. Swung on and missed, and that will do it for the Spartans in the top half of the 4th inning. Gaines goes down on strikes. Kelberlau has now worked 2 clean innings in relief for Jonathan Roy. And when Elkhorn South comes to the plate here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, it will be Small, Ronner, and Mechna due up here in the bottom half of the 4th. They'll face Chase Nelson back on the mound for the Spartans right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching, and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln's summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field. Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
It'll be the cleanup hitter, Eli Small, due up first for Elkhorn South here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Storm. As Small takes ball 1 on the outside part and now drives the 1-0 fastball right back up the middle. And Eli Small starts the bottom of the 4th off with a leadoff single. So Small, who flew out to the first baseman back in the 1st inning, now is on first base with a leadoff single to begin things here in the bottom of the 4th. That brings up Carson Ronner, the 2nd baseman. Ronner flew out to the right fielder back in the 1st inning. Ronner against Lincoln East on Monday went 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Also flew out to the center fielder back at Warner Park on Monday. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Eli Small leads off first, and the first pitch to Ronner is a breaking ball, good for strike 1, 0-1. We've seen it here now at just 51 pitches. Chase Nelson getting into a little bit of a groove here and been able to just kind of not coast necessarily, but just throw strikes and let their defense work. Just two strikeouts for Chase Nelson on the mound as the 0-1 pitch is just a little outside, 1-1. So no runs yet for Elkhorn South. They've registered 3 hits, a pretty clean game overall. Lincoln East 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Elkhorn South, no runs on 3 hits, and they've committed a single error as this 1-1 pitch is going to be pounded into the turf, a ground ball that just goes foul. We'll do it at 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Ronner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 3-0, the Spartans of Lincoln East lead Elkhorn South. Elkhorn South needs something here as the pick over to first is not in time to get the base runner. Eli Small over there who led off the bottom of the 4th with a single. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one pounded the second baseman, Worthley. He bobbles it. He'll take the surefire out at first base. That one was hit really well by Carson Ronner, but it will go as a 4-3 put out for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. So Elkhorn South, stays out of the double play. Worthley fielded that one off his chest and somewhat bobbled it, I suppose. And by the time he gathered himself, he was just thinking the smart play, and that was to throw it to first base. So runner on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Eamon O'Gorman, the new third baseman. He took over for Hayden Kelberlau when Kelberlau entered the game at first base. At pitcher. And so the first pitch of the at-bat to O'Gorman is outside for a ball, 1-0. So now that takes Michael Mechna out of the game for the time being as the designated hitter. Eamon O'Gorman, the left-handed hitter. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 1 to Eamon O'Gorman. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Chase Nelson trying to work around a leadoff single that he surrendered to Eli Small. Small currently stands at second base here at Tal Anderson Field. Eamon O'Gorman steps into the left-handed batter's box, facing the righty arm of Chase Nelson. Kobe Eichmeyer is on the on-deck circle for Elkhorn South. The 1-1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning from Chase Nelson, who comes set at the belt, and now he'll step off and force Eli Small to go back to second base. Don't really sense a feeling of panic in the Elkhorn South dugout right now. Just kind of everybody's up on the railing trying to see if Eamon O'Gorman can get on base. So now the 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled off to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Gorman tried to drop down a bunt there. And unfortunately for the Storm faithful, his bat head was pointed down at the turf. Therefore, the ball went straight up in the air and to the left. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 3-0 the score. Lincoln East out in front by 3 runs. Eli Small, the cleanup hitter, stands at second base. The 6-hole Eamon O'Gorman steps into the box, and now we're going to have Chase Nelson step off the rubber one more time. So still waiting to do the 1-2 offering here from Chase Nelson as he's pretty concerned so far with Eli Small standing at second base, dancing around a little bit. The shortstop Senstock is working behind him, and now the runner goes, trying to steal third, and he's there in time. Eli Small steals third as the 1-2 offering was in the dirt for a ball, 2-2. And so Elkhorn South now has a runner at second with, as it stands, less than 2 outs as the runner advances to third. Eli Small steals third, had a great jump at second base. And now Eamon O'Gorman in the biggest at-bat for him this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch inside and in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Eamon O'Gorman, who was down in the count, has now worked it full. This will be the 60th pitch of Chase Nelson's appearance. Here it is on 3-2, and he walked him. So Eamon O'Gorman with a pretty good at-bat there as he draws the walk after seeing 9 pitches in that at-bat. And now Coach Lanik for Lincoln East is going to talk things over with Chase Nelson on the mound. We'll step aside. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field. Coach Lanik is going to keep Chase Nelson in the game. Runners are at the corners for Elkhorn South. 1 out as Eamon O'Gorman drew the 1-out walk just a moment ago. He'll occupy first base while Eli Small is at third base. So O'Gorman at first and Small at third. Standing into the box is Kobe Eichmeyer, the right-handed hitter, the shortstop for the Storm. And he watches a fastball on the outside corner at the knees, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. This inning started with a leadoff single by Eli Small, then a ground ball to the second baseman and a fielder's choice on the 4-3 ground out saw Carson Ronner get retired on that play for out number 1. Then Eamon O'Gorman took a 9-pitch at bat and drew a walk. The 1-1 pitch from Nelson. Off speed, just outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Kobe Eichmeyer trying to add to his RBI total here in this season. I'm surprised that as a guy like Eichmeyer, who is as talented as of a bunter as we've seen, hasn't thought about maybe laying down a safety squeeze if you're head coach Brandon Dahl over there at third base. 3-0 Lincoln East out in front. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kobe Eichmeyer, the Storm shortstop in the right-handed batter's box, facing the righty arm of Chase Nelson here at Tal Anderson Field. The pitch, way outside, ball 3. And I suppose why bunt if you're going to be able to get on with a free pass? So Eichmeyer has gotten the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Elkhorn South with runners at the corners. Eli Small, who led off this inning with a single, is at third. And then Eamon O'Gorman drew a walk. He's at first. The 3-1 pitch, low and inside, ball 4. And Eichmeyer draws a base on balls. So now Eichmeyer will be at first base, Eamon O'Gorman at second base, and the bases are now loaded with Eli Small at third. So that brings Trey Mandina up to the plate. Mandina is going to call time and go talk to his third base coach here for a moment. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The winner, if it's Lincoln East advances to the state championship game on Friday night. If it's Elkhorn South, then we're going to have to play a second game to decide the winner. So we're ready to go as Trey Mandina, the Elkhorn South backstop, steps into that right-handed batter's box. Chase Nelson has thrown 3 1/3. He's thrown 65 pitches and currently has to work out of a bases-loaded jam. Hasn't allowed a run, though. Only 3 hits allowed as well. Here's the first pitch of the AB to Mandina. Just a little low. Ball 1. So we're starting to see a little bit of command issues from Chase Nelson on the mound. 2 straight walks, and now he's started 1-0 to the 8-hole hitter in the Elkhorn South lineup. The 1-0 pitch to Mandina, way outside, 2-0. And just like that, Coach Landick is going to go talk things over. And I think this will be the end of the road for Chase Nelson. So Lincoln East was warming up a guy in the bullpen, and they're going to call him in the middle of a count to the 8-hole hitter, Trey Mandina. And with that, that'll be the end of the day for Chase Nelson. He goes 3 1/3, allows no runs, allows 3 hits, and he will be responsible for all 3 of the base runners on the base paths. We'll be right back in 30 seconds right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Nick Sander back with you as we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. The new pitcher for the Lincoln East Spartans will be number 13, Connor Johnson. The junior came in with a 2-2 record this season and a 2.25 earned run average. He'll be coming in the middle of a count to Trey Mandina, the Elkhorn South catcher. So it'll be 2 balls and no strikes for Connor Johnson. Bases are loaded. Eli Small is at third. Eamon O'Gorman's at second, and Ike Meyer is at first for Elkhorn South. The Spartans have a 3-0 lead, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the first pitch for Connor Johnson, and it's going to be on the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. It can't be overstated how difficult it can be for a pitcher coming in and not having a fresh count. Obviously, at the end of the day, you just got to throw strikes. But if you're Connor Johnson here, it's a lot more important that you throw strikes and you don't have any time to really get settled in. You got to come right in and fire away. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch on the outside corner again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Mandina has watched 2 pitches here from Connor Johnson, the Spartans relief pitcher, and they've both been on the outside corner for a called strike. Bases are loaded for Elkhorn South, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Connor Johnson just came in for Chase Nelson and comes in to throw 2 straight strikes. Now the 2-2 pitch, low and outside, good block by Garrett Springer behind the dish, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nowhere to put Trey Mandina. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bases are loaded. The full count to the catcher, the 8-hitter, Trey Mandina, is called. Strike 3, lower part of the zone. Mandina, who's the catcher, looks back at the home plate umpire, doesn't say anything, but just kind of takes a look at him. And that will be strike 3 and out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. So Connor Johnson comes in and throws 3 strikes on a 2-0 count to retire the 8-hitter Trey Mandina looking. That brings up the 9-hole Colton Kane. He flew out to the right fielder back in the 3rd inning. Connor Johnson needs 1 more out to put up another goose egg for the Spartans here in the bottom half of the 4th. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Three to 0, Spartans with the lead. I will say, I've said it before, I'll say it again, really cool to see student sections here at state baseball. 3 to 0 Spartans. Now the 1-0 pitch right down the heart of the plate for a strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Eichmeyer at first, O'Gorman at second, and Small at third for the Storm. The pitch, just a hair outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. This is a big moment in the game for both the Storm and Lincoln East. Huge opportunity for the Storm to add on to this impressive inning, as now Colton Kane swings and misses at a pitch, and that will even up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Huge opportunity for the Storm to cut into the deficit that they face, and a even bigger opportunity here for the Spartans to hold the Storm scoreless. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning. This place full of Spartan fans will erupt if Connor Johnson can work out of the bases loaded jam out of the bullpen. The 2-2 pitch from Johnson. Outside, ball 3. That pitch missed by inches. As Connor Johnson now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. Connor Kane, the 9-hole hitter. Here's the pitch from Johnson. Ball 4. And Elkhorn South walks in the first run of the game. So Connor Johnson on a pitch on 2-2 that sniffed the zone. It is called ball 3, and then on the following pitch, that's ball 4, walking in Eli Small. So Colton Kane out of the 9 spot draws the walk. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and that brings up the top of the lineup in Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau, don't forget the pitcher currently, has a chance to help himself out as you watch a breaking ball go in the zone for strike 1. So 3-1 now, Lincoln East with a 2-run advantage. And this is something that I alluded to on Monday. You see the Spartans put together something in the first inning and then struggle to muster anything up the rest of the way. They're going to have to tonight. They're going to have to on Friday against the Millard West Wildcats if they get to the state title as well. The 0-1 pitch outside, ball one. One ball, one strike. Here to the leadoff, the number one hitter, Hayden Kelberlau. Bases are loaded for Elkhorn South here in the bottom of the fourth. Connor Johnson in relief. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The tying run is in the form of Kobe Eichmeyer at second base. Colton Kane at first base. It would be the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch from Johnson swung on, fouled off to the right by Hayden Kelberlau. That evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. An inning that feels like it's taken an eternity. Chase Nelson was pulled with 1 out here. Connor Johnson comes in and strikes out Trey Mandina in the middle of a count. And then a base on balls by Colton Kane brings in the first run of the game for Elkhorn South. Now this one hit and fouled off to the right. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three to 1 the score. Lincoln East out in front by 2 runs. They put up 3 in the top of the first, and it's been zeros the rest of the way for them. Elkhorn South finally cracking the scoreboard here in this one in the bottom of the fourth here. Bases are loaded, and Connor Johnson steps off the rubber to rethink. He gets the sign from his catcher, Garrett Springer. Now remember, Spartans used to Jeter Worthley behind the plate, but Worthley is out at second base right now. I would assume that if we have to get to a game 2 after the conclusion of this one, Worthley will be behind the plate. This one on the 2-2 pitch, skied into left field, caught by the left fielder, and all things considered, Connor Johnson gets out of the jam with minimal damage. He allows 1 run that does not go to his tally. It goes to the tally of Chase Nelson, and he gets the leadoff hitter, Hayden Kelberlau, of the Elkhorn South order to pop out to left field. We head to the 5th inning. After 4 innings of play, it's 3-1 Spartans due up for Lincoln East in the top half of the 5th. It's 7, 8, and 9. Lasig, Beester, and Peterson due up for Coach Lanik in the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to High School Baseball on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
So it'll be the bottom third of the batting order for Lincoln East to face Hayden Kelberlau. 7, 8, and 9. First up will be the designated hitter, Owen Lasig, as we are in the top of the 5th inning. That 4th inning took, if you're Elkhorn South, much longer than you would have expected to only muster up 1 run out of it. They leave the bases loaded. The first pitch of the inning swung on and missed by Lasig, 0-1. Hayden Kelberlau back out there for Elkhorn South on the bump. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. So Lincoln East leads 3-1. Here's the pitch from Kelberlau. Outside, ball 2. So no high school baseball tomorrow. Every team, well, I should say the only 2 teams that would be left are the 2 that are playing in the state final on Friday. Those 2 get the day off. And now the 2-1 pitch is on the outside corner, good for a strike. 2-2. 2-2 to Owen Lasig, the designated hitter today. Kelberlau on the mound. Kelberlau throwing from the right side. Now fires. This one chopped to the third baseman, Eamon O'Gorman, with plenty of time. The throw over to the diamond in time for out number 1. So Owen Lasig goes 5-3 on the putout for out number 1, and Harrison Beester now comes up to the plate. Beester was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. He also struck out to end the 1st. But Beester now facing Kelberlau as he watches ball 1 low and away, 1-0. 3-1 Lincoln East with a 2-run advantage. The Spartans 3 runs on 4 hits. The Storm 1 run on 3 hits. As Beester flies this one into left field, fairly routine, and that one's going to be hauled in by the left fielder for out number 2. So now that brings up the 9-hitter in the lineup, Tanner Peterson. Peterson, the 3rd baseman for the Spartans today. So Kelberlau 1 out away from working a clean 5th inning as he gets strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1. Harold Spheres asks on the text line, if the Spartans win, does Millard West have to beat them twice on Friday? No. It would just be a 1-game winner-take-all as Kelberlau throws the pitch high in the or outside the zone, 1-0. Because so it's a 2-bracket setup basically. Millard West was the 1 seed and the highest seed in their portion of the bracket, while Lincoln East is the highest seed in their portion of the bracket. So you basically have 2 separate brackets of 4 teams going on, and the 2 that make it out of each bracket will face in a winner-take-all game on Friday night at 7 p.m. Kelberlau has worked an even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tanner Peterson, the 9-hole. 3-1 the score, Lincoln East out in front by 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on. It's going to be floated over the shortstop's head into center field for a base hit, and Peterson keeps the inning alive, and the lineup will turn over for Jeter Worthley. As Peterson reaches first base, Jeter Worthley comes up to the plate. Worthley doubled back in the 2nd inning, was stranded at 3rd, but then outside of that, in the 1st and 3rd innings, he struck out swinging. So now, with a runner on first, here's Kelberlau's approach to Worthley as he takes strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1. Peterson at first after the 2-out single. Now Jeter Worthley, the Michigan commit, up to bat. His older brother, Jalen, currently on Nebraska baseball staff. Or excuse me, roster rather, not staff. But Jalen, Jeter's older brother, was originally supposed to go to San Jose State after his career with the Spartans, then change of plans and ended up attending University of Nebraska-Lincoln and playing for Will Bolt. But Jeter choosing a little bit of a different path as he is going to Michigan as of right now. Kelberlau just keeps picking over and over at first base, and now we're ready to face Worthley in the box. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch inside corner called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jeter Worthley. So Worthley 1 for 3 so far. with 2 strikeouts and a double. Peterson leads off first, and now Worthy will call time and reset. Here's the pitch from Kelberlau. Low and away, ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelberlau is at 41 pitches. He took over in the third for Jonathan Roy. Roy didn't start the game. Tanner Forch did. Now the 2-2 swung on and fouled off to the left. So this is the third pitcher that Elkhorn South has had to use, as Tanner Forch started the game, didn't make it past the first inning, finished with 1 inning pitched and 3 runs allowed. Then you had Jonathan Roy come in. He shut down the Spartans in the second, but struggled. And then you have now Kelberlau enter the game, who took over in the third inning and has put up some goose eggs ever since. 2-2, 2 outs. Worthy fouls this one off to the net. And we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Kelberlau trying to get the Storm back in the dugout to add on some more runs. Here's the 2-2 pitch, floated out to the right side, and it will go foul. The runner, Peterson, at first was off with the pitch, but Worthy had to defend the zone there and did so by hitting that foul ball on the right side. So we're here at Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha, home of the Omaha Mavericks. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Worthy, low and away, ball 3. So if you lose Worthy here, you'll have to face Troy Peltz, who reached on an error, made it all the way to third base on that error back in the first inning, then got pelted by a pitch in the second. 3-1, Lincoln East with a 2-run advantage over Elkhorn South. Here's the pitch from Kelberlau. Swung on and drifted into right field. The right fielder chasing it, and it will drop in foul territory, forcing Worthy to trot on back home and Peterson back to first. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to the Lincoln East one-hitter, Jeter Worthy. "46 pitches under the belt for Kelberlau, make it 47, and the 47th pitch is a walk as Worthy will take first base. So that moves Peterson to second, and Troy Peltz will now come up to the plate. He reached on an error by the left fielder back in the first inning, and then was hit by a pitch in the second. So Troy Peltz, the left-handed hitter, facing the righty pitcher Kelberlau. Kelberlau not in too big of a hurry right now here in the top of the 5th inning as we approach 6 p.m. here in Omaha. Kelberlau checks the runner at second 2 times, now throws home, and this one's going to be skied foul out of play. That one went outside the gate here. No balls, 1 strike to Troy Peltz, the number 2 hitter in this Spartan lineup. Kelberlau forces the runner at second, Peterson, to run on back. And now we'll do it again. No balls, 1 strike. Low and inside, 1-1. You want to talk about a pitcher that takes his time in between pitches. That is Hayden Kelberlau. Kelberlau in no rush. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Bounces to the second baseman, fielded cleanly, thrown to second in time for the force out at second base. It's another goose egg for the Spartans in the top of the fifth inning. They still lead it, however, 3-1 after 4.5 innings of play. Due up for the Storm in the bottom half of the fifth. It'll be Thomas, Eaton, and Small, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, due up in just a moment from Omaha right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Elkhorn South's term here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. They have 9 outs left to work with unless they want their season to come to an end. As Alex Thomas will step in, facing Connor Johnson, who throws strike one on the outside corner, 0-1. So Alex Thomas, last time up, walked. He doubled back in the first inning. So now here he takes ball one, just a little outside, 1-1. That was a similar pitch to the one that he got a strike called on him just a moment ago, but must have been a little bit more outside, as that one will be a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Alex Thomas has seen 3 pitches in very similar locations, and 2 of the 3 have been called strikes. So that's something that he's going to have to protect here going forward. The 1-2 pitch from Johnson, swung on, fouled back to the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. So Connor Johnson came in relief for Chase Nelson last inning and effectively worked out of the inning, only allowing 1 run. But here he is, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But now 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 2-hole hitter, Alex Thomas. And that one is going to be fouled off left side. We'll do it again. Elkhorn South, one thing they do, might not hit the ball all that well, but they definitely throw strikes and play defense. And despite maybe not having the powerful hitters that Millard West or Lincoln East would, but they work good at bats, and they make it tough for you to get him out, as Alex Thomas takes ball 3 up and away, 3-2. 3-1 the score. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. And strike 3 on the pitch on the outside corner, swung on and missed by Alex Thomas, and Thomas goes down swinging for out number 1. So that brings up the number 3-hole hitter, Cole Eaton, the starting center fielder. He singled back in the first, and he also flied out in the third. So the first pitch of the at-bat from Connor Johnson to Eaton. It will be low and away for a ball, 1-0. Three to 1 the score. Lincoln East, the 2 seed here in the state tournament, trying to punch their ticket to the final, as Johnson floats a breaking ball in there on 1-0 and evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. So Cole Eaton at the plate currently. Eli Small is on deck, the cleanup hitter. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Johnson. Breaking ball, floated into right center field. Coming over is Gaines, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So now Eaton has flown out twice and singled in today's game. That brings up Eli Small, the cleanup hitter. Small came around to score so far Elkhorn South's only run of the game back in the 4th inning. Small singled to start that 4th inning, and then he flew out to the first baseman back in the 1st. First pitch of the at-bat is outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes as Connor Johnson trying to work another clean inning in relief. Breaking ball on the back door is just a little outside. 2 balls, no strikes. So 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And just outside, 3-0. So now the last couple innings with 2 outs, we've seen Connor Johnson or the Spartans walk a guy. And whether you're Elkhorn South down by 2 or Lincoln East up by 2, you don't have the luxury of that right now, as this one is going to be grounded foul to the right side. It will be 3 balls and 1 strike. It was Eli Small given the green light on 3-0 there, as he swung and fouled that one off to the right side to make the count 3-1. While we have a break in the action, let's pause. 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander back with you at Tal Anderson Field. Now the 3-1 pitch is going to float in there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So now Eli Small with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Steps into that left-handed batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Johnson lifts the leg and fires. This one roped into center field over Senstock's head, and it will be a 2-out single for Eli Small that keeps the inning alive. So that now brings up Carson Ronner. Ronner grounded out to the second baseman, Worthley, last time up. He hit it really well, just right at Worthley. Lincoln East leads 3-1 here in this one. The Spartans up by 2 on the Elkhorn South Storm. The first pitch going to be lined to right field. That'll be down for a base hit as the right fielder tracks it down right in front of the warning track. Coming around to score will be Eli Small, and he is safe. And so Elkhorn South on a 2-out RBI double from Carson Ronner has drawn within 1. So that was a hit right down the right field line. And by the time that Gaines got it into a Vasco, the cutoff man, Eli Small was rounding third base and had already slid at home. So now Small has scored both runs for Elkhorn South here in this one. 3-2 the score. Lincoln East still up by 1, and Eamon O'Gorman is up to the plate. This one skied into shallow center field. The center fielder Beaster coming on, makes the catch for out number 3. At the end of 5 innings of play, it's a 1-run ball game. Lincoln East leads 3-2 over the Elkhorn South Storm. We'll be back in a few minutes right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Spartans here in the top half of the 6th inning. AJ Avasco, the Kansas State baseball commit, the future Wildcat, is going to step in. Avasco, so far in this one, was a hit by pitch victim twice. He also tripled back in the first. Still facing Hayden Kelberlau on the mound. The first pitch, outside corner, strike one to Avasco, 0-1. So Elkhorn South just keeps narrowing this deficit. If you're Lincoln East, you got to tack on a couple here. The 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed by Avasco, 0-2. But you just sit here and you saw Lincoln East was able to score 7 in the first inning the other night, and they held on to that lead. But here, as Avasco strikes out swinging on 3 pitches, you sit here and go, a 3-run lead at the end of the first inning isn't all that insurmountable. You have a lot of time left if you're the opponent to get a few runs. And here we're starting to see it where Elkhorn South waited a little bit longer to get going. They scored 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th, and made it a 1-run ball game. They trail 3-2. As Garrett Springer, the cleanup hitter, swings and misses at the first pitch of his at-bat, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here to Garrett Springer, and he swings and misses at strike 2, way out of the zone. This Spartan lineup struggling to get a read on Hayden Kelberlau, the 3rd pitcher of the game for Elkhorn South. Here's the pitch from Kelberlau upstairs, ball 1, 1-2. So now Kelberlau, after elevating a fastball, be surprised if he doesn't go low and away with some sort of off speed. The 1-2 pitch from Kelberlau to Springer as Kelberlau waits and now pitches. The slider low and away, ball 2. Lincoln East leads 3-2, top of the 6th. The pitch, strikeouts as Garrett Springer goes down swinging for the 2nd out of the inning. And Kelberlau has found a little bit of a groove here in the top of the 6th. Now it's time for the sophomore shortstop, Joey Senstock, as he drops down a drag bunt, throws the first, not in time. Senstock reaches on a 2-out bunt. So Senstock, as I was looking down at my sheet, just quickly drops a drag bunt. And now he's 1 for 4 tonight after that single. Brings up the right fielder, number 18, Mason Gaines. Gaines hit an RBI single back in the 1st. He also walked in the 3rd and struck out in the 4th. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat is in there for a strike, 0-1. So Gaines struck out swinging on 4 pitches back in the 4th inning. Now down 0-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. This one rolled over to first base, thrown to Kelberlau, and he's there to cover in time, and that will do it for the top of the 6th inning. And Elkhorn South is starting to show a little life here as they have some momentum. They've scored 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th. Can they score another one to tie it in the 6th? We'll find out here in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
So Lincoln East, for the 5th inning in a row, goes down quietly, is unable to add on to their lead. They still are ahead by 1 run, 3-2 here as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Up for the Elkhorn South Storm, and here in the bottom of the 6th, it's Kobe Eichmeyer to start us off. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Storm. First pitch of the bottom of the 6th is a ball low and away, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, as Connor Johnson is still the man on the mound for Lincoln East. Here's the pitch from Johnson, in there for a strike, 1-1. We have surpassed the 6 p.m. hour. This game started at 4 p.m., and now here we are at 6:11 p.m. The Connor Johnson pitch, outside, ball 2, 2-1. So that's right, no games tomorrow. We'll have the state title for you. We'll have normal programming tomorrow, normal programming on Friday, and then at 7 p.m., the state championship game from Tal Anderson Field here at 7. Eichmeyer swings and misses at the 2-1 fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're even. Here's Johnson working from the windup to the 7-hitter Eichmeyer. The 2-2 pitch swung on, hit well to left center field. It's in the gap. Being chased down. It's down for a hit. It's now fielded by the left fielder. Eichmeyer strolls into second with a lead-off double. Eichmeyer put a charge into that one, and it just split the 2 outfielders for Lincoln East. The left fielder, number 2, Troy Peltz, and the center fielder, Harrison Beester, in the left center gap, and that allowed Eichmeyer to get to second base. So now, here in the bottom of the 6th, nobody out, and Eichmeyer's at second base. I would not be surprised to see a sacrifice bunt here from Trey Mandina. So nobody out. Eichmeyer at second, Mandina at the plate. He squares to bunt and takes ball 1 low and away for a 1-0 count. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Trey Mandina. Mandina today, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And some Lincoln East Spartans are running down to the bullpen to get some work in. Second pitch of the at-bat, low and away for a ball, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes here to the 8 eighth hitter in the Elkhorn South lineup, Trey Mandina, doing the catching today. 3-2, Lincoln East with a 1-run lead. The bunt, Mandina gets it down, and Johnson will take the easy out at first base. So Mandina does his job with the sacrifice bunt for the first out of the inning. Now that brings up Colton Kane. Kane worked a walk, but now they're going to pinch hit number 22, Austin Geary. Austin Geary will pinch hit for Colton Kane, number 22. So on the year, Austin Geary is a 313 hitter rather, with no home runs and 15 runs driven in. And Eichmeyer is down at third with some really good speed. The first pitch swung on, popped up. I believe this one will hit the net. And they're going to call it out after it hit the net. And so umpires need to talk this one over. The ball came down, ricocheted off the net. That should just be a foul ball. Thank you. They changed the call there. The umpire initially called it out, and it ricocheted off the net, which should not have been an out. And that's just going to go as a strike to Austin Geary. So no balls, one strike here. Connor Johnson on the mound. Austin Geary, the pinch hitter here in the 9-hole. Eichmeyer at third base. Now they'll pick off to third, and then back in time is Eichmeyer. They had Eichmeyer leaning towards the plate, but it was an inaccurate throw by Johnson, so Tanner Peterson had to do a acrobatic catch. Here's the pitch, fielded by the shortstop, thrown home. They're going to tag Eichmeyer in time, and Eichmeyer is thrown out at the plate for out number 2. Geary grounded it hard to the shortstop, Senstock, and Senstock fielded it cleanly, kept composed, and threw it home in plenty of time, and a great tag applied by Garrett Springer at home. So now, with Hayden Kelberlau up to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Colton Kane checks back in, and he'll run for Austin Geary at first base after the fielder's choice. So Hayden Kelberlau comes up to the plate. He takes ball 1, low and away, 1-0. Kelberlau flew out in the 1st and 4th inning. Lincoln East still leads 3-2 here. And now Kelberlau at the plate. Johnson the pitch. Fouled back to the net. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-2, the Spartans with a 1-run advantage here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the second pitcher of the game for Lincoln East, as it was started by Chase Nelson, and Connor Johnson came in relief. They pick over to first, not in time, as Colton Kane is back in time. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning, 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Connor Johnson on the mound, the right-handed hurler facing the right-handed batter of Hayden Kelberlau. The 1-1 pitch just out of the zone, low for ball 2. So now 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Connor Johnson. The runner goes. Pitch outside for a ball. The throw down not in time by Garrett Springer as Colton Kane steals second base. And Elkhorn South gets a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs and a 3-1 count to the leadoff hitter, Hayden Kelberlau. Standing on deck is the lefty bat of Alex Thomas, who has doubled and walked as well as struck out today. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 1-run Spartan lead. Connor Johnson, the pitch, swung on, flied out to right field, hit well, but the right fielder is under it and catches it for the final out in the 6th inning. So Connor Johnson works around a leadoff double from Kobe Eichmeyer and hangs a 0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. We head to the 7th, due up for the Spartans in the top of the 7th inning. It's Lasig, Beester, and Peterson, 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up in the top half of the 7th. We'll be right back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
We are back here at Tal Anderson Field. The Spartans are 1 inning away from making it to the state championship game on Friday. Appreciate all you folks listening out there. John and Cortland, I appreciate the kind message. And so this has just been an incredible day of baseball. 1 inning remaining. Here as we enter the top of the 7th from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. First batter up for the Spartans here in the top half of the 7th will be the 7th hitter, the designated hitter, Owen Lasig. Lasig, 1 for 2 rather today. He was hit by a pitch as well back in the 3rd. He grounded out in the 5th and singled all the way back just after 4 p.m. in the 1st inning. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat. It will be called a strike, so now it's evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Beester is on deck, the 8-hole batter, the center fielder for Lincoln East. Kelberlau still on the mound for Elkhorn South. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelberlau starts his motion and fires towards the plate. It's swung on, fouled back, and it's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here for Owen Lasig, the Spartans' usual second baseman, but DH today. Here's the pitch on 1-2, outside, 2-2. Three to 2. Spartans out in front by a run. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Storm, 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed by Owen Lasig, and he goes down swinging for the first out in the top of the 7th. That will bring up Harrison Beester, the center fielder, number 5 for the Lincoln East Spartans. He is 0 for 2 today. He struck out back in the 1st. He was hit by a pitch as well back in the 3rd inning. So the lefty batter versus the righty pitcher, Kelberlau. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike here for Harrison Beester. Beester will take ball one low in the dirt, 1-1. So Kelberlau on the mound, been really good in relief for the Storm since he took over in the third inning. Now the pitch on 1-1 is up and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike now to the 8-hole batter, Harrison Beester. The pitch just upstairs, ball 3. As I mentioned, Beester got plunked back in the third inning. Standing on deck is the 9-hole batter, Tanner Peterson. The 3-1 pitch right down Broadway, the fastball. And I'm surprised in that situation, 3-1 pitch, a lot of times you're going to be thinking fastball. Hitters count, and Beester didn't take the bat off his shoulder. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 71 pitches in 3 1/3 innings relief for Hayden Kelberlau. The 3-2 pitch swung on, grounded to the second baseman. It's bobbled for a moment, picked up, thrown to first, in time at first base. Great job staying composed by Carson Ronner over there at second. He bounced it off his chest, and he picked it up with his glove again, but he's able to fire over to first, and Alex Thomas in time for out number 2. So Beester goes down 4-3 on the ground out for the second out of the inning, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Tanner Peterson. Peterson is 1 for 3 today. He's grounded into a fielder's choice as well as just grounded out to the shortstop. He singled back in the 5th. Here he is in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. The pitch, strike 1 in there to even up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Kelberlau, the pitch, strike 2 on the inside half, 1-2. So Peterson in danger of going down on strikes here. And the Spartans, here on the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Kelberlau skips off the field and into the Storm dugout, where the Storm will have one last crack at it here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Connor Johnson strutting out to the mound once again for the Spartans, and we will see if he can slam the door and bring the Spartans into the state title game. They need 3 outs coming up to the plate for Elkhorn South in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's not going to be easy for Lincoln East. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Alex Thomas, Cole Eaton, and Eli Small, all due up here in just a moment. We'll be back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Well, here it is, the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the Elkhorn South lineup. Alex Thomas, Cole Eaton, and Eli Small to face Connor Johnson. Johnson, the right-handed hurler from the windup, and he throws strike 1 in there on the outside corner, 0-1. Alex Thomas, he struck out back in the 5th inning, but other than that, he's reached base both times with a double in the 1st and a base on balls in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch, hit up the middle. That's a base knock into center field. So Alex Thomas will get on first base with nobody out, and now it's Cole Eaton's turn. So Alex Thomas is standing on first, and Cole Eaton is going to go talk to his third base coach, Brandon Dahl for a moment. Running at first is going to be, I believe that was number, I missed the number. Potentially Jack Ulrich at first base. But I'll let you guys know as soon as we get a number. But Alex Thomas's base knock is what Elkhorn South now has cooking here in the bottom half of the 7th. Cole Eaton is stepping into the box. The 3-hole hitter, Johnson, delivers low and outside, ball 1. Eaton today has flown out twice and singled back in the first. We're approaching 6:30 p.m. Johnson from the stretch. The pitch swung on, driven up the middle. That's a base knock. And stopping at second is the pinch runner, Jack Ulrich. And Elkhorn South has the go-ahead or winning run in this case at first base. And now Coach Michael Lanick will go and talk to his pitcher, Connor Johnson. So Eaton lined it up the middle, and Alex Thomas led off the 7th inning with a base knock as well. And so runners are at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's go ahead and step aside for 30 seconds. We'll be right back on The Ticket.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
So it's a pretty intense-filled bottom of the 7th here as Elkhorn South has had back-to-back singles to start the bottom of the 7th, and they have 2 runners on, including the winning run at first base for the cleanup hitter, Eli Small. Small has singled 2 out of his 3 at-bats. He also flew out to the first baseman. Connor Johnson still on the bump with nobody out. The first pitch of the at-bat to Small, just outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-2, the Spartans hold on to a 1-run lead. They scored 3 runs in the first. They've had opportunities, just unable to get anybody across the plate since then. The Storm have scored 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th, and the 1-0 offering is low in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Eli Small. Eaton is at first, and Ulrich, the pinch runner for Alex Thomas, is at second. Connor Johnson, the pitcher, here it is, as he fires that one in there, 2-0. It's fouled off to the left for Eli Small. Small on the year, a .402 hitter with 2 home runs. He steps in with a 2-1 count in his favor. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Connor Johnson, the pitch, hit on. It's going to be dribbled up the middle. It's going to bounce once. It'll touch the second base bag for 1, but he'll be safe at first. Moving up to third on the play is Ulrich. That was a really tough ball to decipher off the bat of Eli Small, just because it was a little wobbly. The middle infielders didn't know if they wanted to try and go up and dive to catch that or if they should let it bounce. They ultimately let it bounce, and now Elkhorn South has runners at the corners with 1 out. The middle infield is back. They are in double play depth. Now Johnson, the pitch, outside, ball 1. Carson Ronner is up to bat. Ronner had an RBI double back in the 5th inning. He also grounded out and flown out in the 4th and the 1st. So 1 ball, no strikes. Eli Small, after the fielder's choice, is standing on first base. Ulrich is on third. The 1-0 pitch outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. 3-2, the Spartans are clinging to a 1-run lead. Johnson comes set, delivers. That one hit, and it's going to just slice foul. That would have scored Small from first as Carson Ronner lined it down the right field line. It would have for sure scored Ulrich at third and potentially Small from first. But it slices foul down that right field line, and so it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the 5-hitter in this Elkhorn South lineup. Carson Ronner. Johnson comes set, the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The palms are sweating, and it's an intense ball game here at Tal Anderson Field. The tying run is at third base, 90 feet away. The winning run is at first base. Two balls, 2 strikes here to Carson Ronner. He had an RBI double back in the 5th. Here's Connor Johnson's pitch. Swung on, popped up. This one in shallow right field. Worthley running in. He's going to turn around. They're tagging from third. Now they'll retreat back to third base as Jeter Worthley catches that ball in foul territory and guns it home to stop Jack Ulrich from trying to tag up. So with 2 outs after Ronner flies out to the second baseman, this will be now Michael Mechna as he will re-enter into the game. Michael Mechna. Mechna flew out back in the 2nd inning, then got pinch hit for or substituted in the 4th. It's Mechna, and he is the Elkhorn South Storm last hope. 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ulrich is at third. Eli Small is at first. 2 outs. They had runners at first and second with nobody out. And now I have them at the corners with 2. The first pitch, low and away, blocked in the dirt by Springer behind the dish. 1-0. This is an incredibly important moment for both sides. Johnson comes set, the 1-0 pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Lincoln East put 3 across the plate in the 1st inning and they have 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Elkhorn South put 1 run across in the 4th, 1 run across in the 5th, and have runners at the corners here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch, Johnson swings and misses. Mechna does, I should say, on Johnson's pitch. And so it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Michael Mechna. Mechna and the Elkhorn South Storm are down to their final strike. If the Spartans win, they play in the state championship game on Friday against Millard West. If the Storm win, they force a game 2 immediately after this one. The 1-2 pitch almost got Mechna to go around on it, but the slider on the outside in the opposite batter's box is called ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Connor Johnson came into relief for Chase Nelson. Runners are at the corners. Eli Small at first, Jack Ulrich at third. Here's the pitch on 2-2. Swung on and missed, and the Spartans are going to the state championship game as Connor Johnson gets Michael Mechna to strike out swinging here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Spartans avoid runners on first and second base with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. And they will be playing Millard West on Friday night at 7 p.m. It'll be the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed right here at 7 p.m. on Friday from Tal Anderson Field. It'll be a winner-take-all game between the Spartans and the Wildcats. You can expect that Carter Mick will be going for the Spartans, and you can expect that Drew Derrimer will be going for the Millard West Wildcats. Should be a doozy, and this one was incredible. The final score, the Lincoln East Spartans score 3 runs on 6 hits. They commit 0 errors. The Elkhorn South Storm, they score 2 runs on 8 hits, and they commit 1 error. That 1 error coming in the first inning on a misplayed ball off the bat of Troy Peltz in left field that Peltz ended up scoring on. So you want to look at a potential difference maker, and then you can look right there at that misplayed fly ball that potentially the left fielder for Elkhorn South, Colton Kane, his cleat may have gotten stuck in the turf, and he kind of stumbled a little bit on the way to go grab that fly ball. But nonetheless, the Spartans win 3-2, and they're heading to the state championship game. Well, folks, that'll do it for myself. Nick Sainert saying so long from Tal Anderson Field. That somebody else from the ticket will be calling the game on Friday nights. I'm heading on vacation. I am going to celebrate graduation. Graduation. Can you tell I've talked quite a bit here? Celebrate graduation. Celebrate an unbelievable first time ever that the state tournament for high school baseball has been broadcasted on the 93.7 The Ticket station. Shout out to DP and Mark, all the producers, Harrison for running the board back in the studio, Rico, Austin, Bach, just everybody involved. Appreciate them filling in for me while I was not at the studio and here, whether it was at Warner Park or at Tal Anderson Field. So one final time from the Class A state baseball tournament, Nick Sainert saying so long. The Spartans get it done 3-2 in an unbelievable game on a beautiful night here in Omaha. Have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. The fellas at 93.7 The Ticket will talk to you tomorrow morning. I will talk to you on Tuesday from The Drive with AD and Raf at 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Good night from Omaha and Tal Anderson Field, the home of the UNO Mavericks.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise